All right, well, our next guest is a singer, songwriter, artist, motivational speaker, but has a very special story to share. It has been doing so.
Yeah, Sherri Williams is the author of The Root of My Pain. It's a self-help book that gets to the root of pain to help readers find the root, the truth, and the reality, and some resolution. She talks a lot about grief, has experienced it herself, and she's here now. Russell mentioned you're a motivational speaker, but you started as a singer.
Yes, ma'am.
But let's begin by talking about loss. It's a topic you know well.
Yes, ma'am. I'm a mother that lost a daughter and a son. My son died in '89. He had an enlarged heart and liver that they didn't catch in time. So when we tried to fly him to Memphis for surgery, he went into cardiac arrest, so I lost him in '89. We did have another child. We had a daughter this time, and she was perfectly healthy, but I put her in a homeowner's, a daycare center, a home provider, and about 3 to 4 weeks of her being there, I got off work one day and she had been found dead at the daycare center and had been deceased for over 3 hours, and no one claimed to know.
I'm so sorry.
So for years I carried a lot of anger and hurt because nothing was ever resolved of it. It was never on the news. It was never, it was like their deaths just kind of disappeared. And so for 15, 20 years I carried the root of my pain, was very angry, I feel, with God, because I felt like I was in a whirlwind by myself. No one in my family had lost any children. My grandmother, who had lost children, had already deceased. So there was really no support groups like they are now. And so after the death of Xavion, God dealt with me. I sung at Xavion's funeral. I sung at Jawan Latham's funeral. And I saw then that God was starting to use me and heal. I was scared of kids for a long time. But it seems like through working with children started to heal me. So I began to stop singing so much and started to write, and I started a program called the Soul's Right House that we have over 56 authors that have come through. And even though I wrote this book probably 2 years ago, the Lord wanted me to be still and raise up the people. And so we have 56, 57 authors that have come before me. And so now that my youngest son graduated, I feel it was time, and God said it was time to release the root of my pain, because I've definitely gotten to the root.
Incredible.
Well, and you know how it can just pain and anger,
yes,
how it can just take hold of you. Talk about the reaction when you talk to people when they're grieving, especially. They know that you actually know their pain.
They do. It's a sense of appreciation and transparency, because a lot of times people will tell you, I know how you feel. I know how you feel, but they really don't. And they don't want to.
Yeah.
I feel that over the 20-year span that I dealt with it and the way the Lord was using me, a lot of times people got to the root of my talent, but they never got to what was behind the talent, which was the death of my children. So when I was able to get with Zenobia Dobson, Terry Walker-Smith, Joan Berry, a lot of organizations that now have support groups, I was able to tap into that, and it helped me, but it also helped other women and mothers come together so that we could share our grief in various ways, because a lot of us lose our kids in many ways, and no death is more important than the other. So I'm just very fortunate that I had God on my side, and that the children that I did work with over the years, they're all practically grown now, but they helped heal me. And I thank those mothers for allowing me to sow into their children's lives, because what they didn't realize was that their children were sowing into me.
Yeah. February 22nd, you're going to be there 7 to 9.
Yes.
Tribe of Judah, 4101 Holston Drive. People can meet you,
Yes.
learn more about you. SOLSWM.com.
Yes, sir.
For more. We really appreciate you, Sharon.
Thank you so
You're
much.
helping a lot of people really begin to deal with grief that is so tough. Thank you so much. Great to see you.
Thank you, guys.
All
Thank
the
you.
best.
We'll be right back after this.